Welcome to Bonded Voices. I'm Ian.
This is Lauren.
Hello, I'm Greg.
This episode is entitled The Importance of the Casual Hello. And the reason this one came to mind to me was because of society and just looking at society and the way it's made up. You think about your community, you think about the world we live in, you think about the conflicts that we see. And for me, it all starts with, that one-to-one communication, the acknowledgement that someone exists. And for me, that starts with the casual hello.
Well, so many people walk around with their heads buried in their phones nowadays, so even getting the eye contact to say hello, I try to say hello to people all the time, hold the door open for people. I don't care, male, female, I'll hold the door open if you're coming in after me. And I'll say hello. I was at the gym tonight, said hello to a bunch of people at the gym, and I don't know any of them. It's just being friendly, and I think in general it makes society a better place.
Well, and it always, a similar experience, you always get a smile on the face.
Yeah.
Wow, a gentleman, or wow, this never happens anymore, of someone holding the door or saying hello. But it's amazing how little effort can change the trajectory of many things.
Isn't there a movie entitled "It Started with Hello" or something like that? I think there is. And I think it's I think the reason it's important because we all probably met our spouses first with just a casual hello, but also for some people, like I said, it's that acknowledgement that they exist, and there's a lot of people that don't even feel that they think anyone ever notices them.
Well, that hello could be the highlight of their day or their week. They could be there, and I have no friends, and this now if someone said hello to me, it changes. They could be in a real bad depression that changes them to where they actually have a decent day.
Absolutely.
Well, couldn't we say that part of this path that we're on started with a simple hello?
Yeah.
The idea of looking for camaraderie, fellowship, finding commonalities, creating or deepening friendships was all started with a hello.
Yeah. And it is important. I think there's probably people listening going, really, is this that deeper subject? Well, think of it like this. Take the person that you admire most in the world, that you'd always want to meet. Can you imagine if you're just in an airport and you see them and they go, hi, or hello?
Oh, they talk
You'd be like,
me.
They acknowledge me?
Sure.
Now that's a big deal, but what I think we all don't understand, or we take for granted, is the perception of how other people view you. They may be like, Greg said hello to me, or Lauren said hello to me.
Right.
That it could be at work, right?
Yep.
It could be walking down the hallways. It could just be in the coffee shop somewhere. But it's that acknowledgement, and we even see it like in our weekly things. I just started saying hello to that girl who works in the store. I think she must be the manager because she's always there. But now I walk through the door, she goes, hi, Ian.
And she knows what you're going to drink.
Coffee is ready before I even pay for it.
You're right. I think you've paved the way because she knows my order as well.
Oh, she does? Yeah, right.
So,
Exactly.
Yeah,
She does yeah.
But if that was the precipice, if your acknowledgement of her then attracted to our regular group, there's been a connection made. Who knows what that develops into.
No, absolutely. See, and for her, now I even asked her, in fairness, she's got a daughter, it's 13 months old. And so there's now like a friendship bond there where she feels I'm not just this barista slinging coffee, but actually these men talk to me. Well, I don't know what that was, but these men talk to me.
For those of you, those were quotation marks.
Air quotes.
They're men, yeah, none of us are here wearing a dress, so it's like, I don't know why that came out like that. But it's important, and I think it came to mind when I was driving down the street one day, and I did the casual wave, the hand wave, as you pass another car. And my son said, "Do you know that person?" I said, "Probably not, but what's wrong with the casual hello?" And I lived in Los Angeles for a long while, where that hand gesture could have got you shot, or at least people were like, "What the hell's that?
Sure.
What are you doing that for?" And then you come to Arizona, and everyone was like, "Hi, hi, hi," and you go to a smaller town, everyone has the casual hello. And when we think about the rut in society, and where, it's no joke, you may have fancier restaurants in Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago, but you also have more violence. You have more homeless people.
Right.
You have more pain. And you have less people who on the street acknowledge each other. Everyone walks with their head down, don't make eye contact, don't say hello, don't get noticed.
Which, that walking with the head down is interesting, because all the self-defense models teach make eye contact.
Right.
Because
the law of
it
the jungle.
changes. Right.
Yeah.
So back to raising your hand, historically, you would do that to show you didn't have a weapon.
Great point. Yeah.
And so you're saying hello to the fellow man that you're walking down the street. I don't have a weapon, and then shaking the hand to confirm that. And so it's a sad state that, yes, at periods of time, you acknowledging someone else might get you shot in a very, I don't even know what the right term is, very war zone neighborhood. But it's amazing the impact that you can make to someone. I had a similar experience when I was growing up, probably 19, 20 years old. Went to visit a friend in small town Kansas. And we're driving down the road, and everybody driving the opposite direction waved.
Yeah.
I'd never seen these people before. I'm never going to see them again. They all waved. And I'm thinking, what in the world is going on?
Yeah, that's a small town thing. I'm actually jealous. I have a brother-in-law, when they're driving the back roads, that if they see someone they'll wave. They'll pull over, and they have a nice chest, and
Yeah, right,
they'll
yeah.
have a nice beverage and
Catch up on
things, and then go on their merry way. And it's like, that's a great...
Takes an hour to go 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, but I would rather live in an area like that,
Absolutely.
than where people just don't acknowledge each other.
So let's expand on that a little bit, because I'm thinking, if you have that experience and then you go home and your wife says, "Hey, what happened today?" I saw Kevin down the road, and you know what? They lost a cow 2 weeks ago, but they're really optimistic about the crop, and his kid threw the winning touchdown at the football game on Friday night. And that conversation goes back to another one of our podcasts, which was put the phone down for 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so that conversation on the side of the road with your relative and his fellow, his neighbors, his friends, man, maybe we all need to drive around with a cooler in our cars.
So think about...
I'm not proponent.
Non-alcoholic beverages there.
Maybe. But think about like church, where we have at our church, people greet you. There's like probably about 6 deep. You can shake 6 hands before you even get into the sanctuary. Mm-hmm. People you don't know, probably even more. And I keep thinking to myself, there's probably people who think, this is annoying. I have to keep shaking everybody's hand as a comment. But then if they didn't have it at all, it'd be very cold.
Yeah, the shaking of the hands makes it more welcoming.
Well, and I think there's some people that are not going to be interested in that, and they're going to seek out another church, another place of worship, where they might be able to not have to worry about that, what they see as a barrier. But isn't that the idea of church, is the coming
community,
together?
right? Exactly.
Community.
Acknowledging each other, talking about life, praying together, laying hands on each other at some point, if that comes to that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's that casual. There's no depth to it. All these people who shook my hand tonight, I they're not like, my name's John and I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, John? And I'm like, it's none of that. It's just a casual hello, right?
Sure.
And I think even if you, I do this in the supermarket line. How's your day been? I'll ask the people working the cashiers. Mm-hmm. And I remember one day I didn't do anything, and the lady said something like, "Oh, well, hello," but in a way like, I'm not invisible.
Sure.
I'm not here as a slave, right? At least acknowledge me. And I apologized, and because I was caught up with probably my phone. But yeah, that casual hello goes an awful long way, even to the busboys, the menial workers. Like, I even said hello today to my post office, my postal carrier, and he said, "What? What? Pardon?" And I'm like, "Hello."
Did they have to take out their earbuds?
But he was sort of stunned. He didn't know what I was asking him. And I wasn't asking him. I was just saying hello.
I don't want anything. I just want to be friendly.
So can we go back to that woman in the grocery store? Did she take that approach with you because you've said hello to her so many times?
No, she was just another animal. And obviously I just called her at a moment where she thought I was just being dismissive.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But most of them there I know now. The ones at the stores I go to regularly enough.
Sure.
I know them, and I don't know their first names, but I'll always say hello to them. How's your day going?
And it expands your network of people so you could be walking in the store and they know what you like. Oh, hey, we got a special on that now.
Right. So remember our episode, How Many Friends Do You Have? And if you haven't heard it, go back and listen to it. It's a really good episode. And we talk about these concentric circles of friends, starting in the middle with like your family, and then close friends, best friends, and going out to acquaintances. Well, that casual hello is on that acquaintance ring. But it's the reason the acquaintance ring is really important is because you need that for society. Not for your close friends, because you don't just say hello to a close friend and then walk off. You'd be like, oh, I thought I knew him better than that. Mm-hmm. But you do need it for those other things, to humanize people, to show them that you value them to some point.
So during the COVID time, when everything was locked down, and we went as a society to a point of just stay in your silo. And now that we're, at least it sure feels like we're on the other side of that wave, I think it's interesting that I'm now thinking specifically with the three kids that my wife and I have, that all three of them work in the service industry. And to some extent, I think there was maybe some conscious effort for them to understand the benefits of being able to interact with people. Yep. And look someone in the eye, shake someone in the hand, shake their hand, and can I get you something? How are you doing today? Whatever that might be, because that will far outweigh. Lauren, I know you love technology, but
hey now,
the ability to build relationships. I'm sure that AI will figure that out. But it's those connections. You don't know. If we go back to this nice young lady that works in the coffee shop, there may be some day that it ends up, there's some job arrangement that comes out of that.
Right.
We might end up working for her someday. She might end up working for one of us someday. Who knows what that's going to look like. But it's surely not going to happen if you don't know them.
Right. Now, I'm so glad you brought up the COVID days, because I think that there's several things in there. One, the casual hello didn't exist as much because people weren't interacting as much. Mm-hmm. When you lock yourself up in your house, of course, you don't. But it also got to the point of where I think that people wouldn't even acknowledge each other in the street because they're all mashed up and they were just hurrying to get out of everyone's way. And then you had the kids who weren't in school, who were working over computers, and you could wave, and did anyone see me wave?
Right.
Oh, so they stopped doing it, and now all of a sudden all that goes down. And then you look at the mental health issues that we had through that.
Well, you bring up a good point with the masks. How much did they, seeing someone's face when they say hello,
Super important.
makes a big difference.
Yep.
Well, I think that there's more significance. You feel significant if someone goes out of their way to say hello. Wow, that's kind of nice.
Yeah.
I've never met this person, but he held the door open for me and said hello.
Greg, you said earlier that that usually the genesis of the open-handed hello was to show I don't have a weapon. I think in the same way, showing your face, Lauren, at that same point, is another signal that I come in peace.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Because you look at most terrorists cover their face.
right.
Most people who rob a bank or back in the day sort of thing would wear some kind of face covering because they're not because I think it's that side of things that you don't want to be acknowledged.
Right.
So obviously, opposite that is being acknowledged and having the face.
Well, it also it allows you to hide your truth. You can say hi with a mask on, but you may be frowning and like, oh, I don't really want to say hi to this person.
Yes.
But if you take the mask off and you have to see their facial expressions and get a true reading on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's interesting because we go from that casual hi in the street, driving by in a car, walking by on the pavement, and of course, if you live in New York City, I'm sure anyone listening to this who lives in a big city is thinking, "Are you serious? I have to walk down the street going hi, 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 hi to everybody because there's thousands of people all the time." Yeah, that don't make any sense.
But you could have a smile on your face and just acknowledge people with a smile. It doesn't have to be a verbal all the time.
Right.
You could be Buddy the Elf as well.
True.
Who he tried
would
to say
do that,
hello.
yeah.
Right.
Now, we think about this where, you take it in a small town and that casual hello means a lot. And I think would be really frowned upon if it didn't. But the more we can take it to the big cities, it would obviously have a positive effect.
Well, it gives you a sense of community.
Yeah.
You're part of your neighborhood. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest problem in big cities is people really don't know their neighbors.
There's no community.
In a small town, everybody. I came from a small town in Kansas, and everybody knew everything about everybody.
So you mentioned when you moved here, Ian, when you moved here from Los Angeles.
Yep.
That it was the greater Phoenix area was more social, more hello.
Way more, yeah.
We're not talking about hundreds of years ago.
No, I know. That's the crazy part.
So when was that? How long ago?
So 14 years. And the interesting part, living in Los Angeles, sometimes we would see our neighbors and wave, and they wouldn't wave back. Our next door neighbors in Los Angeles.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now there are others that that were, and it's people are people, as in one family's great, you wave and you're going to talk to them for the next 20 minutes.
Do I want to invest this 20 minutes in? But
then you get a lot of people, and it's pretty endemic throughout big cities, is that they don't want to get. I think they're scared of getting in each other's business or whatever, but they won't even acknowledge each other. Mm-hmm. And
is it part of it being rejected though too? They're afraid they're going to be rejected.
It could be, yeah. And that's where the casual hello doesn't mean anything. There's no investment in it, right? There's no name. There's no anything there. But at least it's a starting point that if you do want to take it further, and then. Look, we've taken it on the friendship level. Like, I would give advice to anyone who's looking to find on the dating scene, find a husband, find a wife. You've got to start with hello somewhere.
Very true.
And getting out of your shell. And some people go, what am I going to say to that person? I don't know how to introduce myself. It's like they don't want to know everything about you straight away. Sometimes it's like, hi, I'm Ian.
Right.
Is just a good enough start. Getting a drink thrown at you, bringing back bad memories, maybe that's another thing, but like, at least you start with a casual hello and half a drink if you can like catch it mid there. But Yeah, I think there is something really important about doing that. So, I would
So our
wrap
takeaways.
this by saying you got to go out and do it. That would be my advice. Would be think about how many times in a day you can have a casual hello to someone, whether it's a wave or actually a verbal.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think that everyone should take the opportunity to say hello or smile or wave, whatever it is, whatever your comfort level is. It doesn't cost you anything.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Well, and you have nothing to lose by it. The other person might reward you with an FU response, which is possible. Not likely. I've never had
Not
that happen.
likely. Yeah.
But you don't know, and so you walk into a restaurant. Hello, how you doing? And obviously the person there wants to get you seated, whatever it might be. But you never know what that's going to lead to. It's just, I think it's valuable for the future of mankind. We need relationships, and just extend a simple hello. What, 5 hellos in a day?
Yeah, and think about how many times people say first impressions count. That initial confident hello has gone such a long way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's the challenge? How many hellos in a day?
Yeah, maybe set yourself a new record and see how it changes your life. And if you can, get into our comments section, go to our website, and give us your response from saying hello to 10 or more people in a day, 10 or more people you don't know.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great challenge.
So signing off, I'm Ian,
This is Lauren.
And I'm Greg.
and we'll see you next time.